Hi, my name is Lara Jo Hightower. I write the profiles for the Northwest Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, and this week's profile is about Terri Lane. Terri is the executive director of the Northwest Arkansas Land Trust. She's held that position for about 8 years, and in that position she's worked with her team to protect valuable land in 13 different counties in Northwest Arkansas. Anything that is an important viewshed, watershed, animal habitat. As she has explained it to me, they're not anti-development, they're just pro-smart development in order to protect all the things in Northwest Arkansas that make our area so special. She has a fascinating story. She grew up on Kessler Mountain here in Fayetteville, and by the time she was 10, she was responsible for a flock of almost 200 sheep. She and her sister Kim maintained the flock, and also were quite known for showing lambs on the state fair circuit. They had a lot of winning lambs over the years that they did this. So that's a really interesting part of her story. She also talks a lot about exploring Kessler Mountain as a child and how that sort of informed the conservationist that she has become now in adulthood. She also has a really interesting story about how it took her some time of sort of exploring and experimenting to find the right niche that sustained her passion and led her to think, yes, this is exactly where I should be. So I really hope you'll read Terri's story. I think she's making some really valuable contributions to our Northwest Arkansas area. In the meantime, she answered some self-portrait questions for us to give us a little bit of a better idea of what her personality's like. So I hope you'll watch. Thanks so much.
All right, here we go. Let's start with, if I've learned one thing in life, it is
that everybody has a purpose, and finding it is the key to joy.
I was just thinking about your answers to some of the interview questions and about how I think that's what I learned most from my interview with you, because you really set out to try and find that.
Yeah.
And you tried a couple of different things before you landed on what it was. So
yeah.
You have definitely internalized that message, I think.
Yeah.
The person who has had the most impact on me is?
That would be my grandmother, Maxine.
She, because of her quote, you belong among the trees, she told you when you were little. So
yeah, and she's just always been the wise person that my cousins and I and everyone in our family, even if they're not in our family, they would seek my grandmother out for advice, and she's just always been there for everyone. So
she sounds amazing. Well, just that one sentence that she said to you showed you that she knew you really well. She saw you and understood you, so that means she was probably pretty empathetic.
Absolutely.
A good piece of advice I've received is?
Was to pick the one thing that'll have the greatest ripple effect and do that.
It's a great piece
And
of
it
advice.
works on just a day-to-day basis, and in the bigger sense as well.
Yes, yeah, you can scale that down to the smallest thing to the biggest. That's
right.
A great piece of advice. My favorite place in Arkansas, I'm really interested in hearing your answer to this one.
Yeah, it always comes back to Kessler Mountain, where I grew up. So just bushwhacking my old childhood routes around the mountain.
Isn't it, do you ever stop and think, and now I work at the foot of it, basically, where you grew up? And,
I do, yeah. It's really neat. It's a full circle for sure to have grown up there, and then, with all of the different things I've kind of done along the way to end up right back where I started and protecting the mountain that I grew up on, and other places that are, just as special to other people. Really is a full circle moment.
It really is. I'm at my best when?
I've had time alone. I'm definitely one of those people that needs a little time to myself and to have time to think and recharge.
Yes, you're not 100% extrovert, I guess.
I'm in between.
Yeah. And one word to sum me up is?
I would say grounded.
I would agree with that. After talking to you for an hour and a half the other day, I think that's a really good word for you.
Thanks.
Thanks so much for taking the time to answer the questions.
Thank you. It was fun.